It's Thursday 28th of April. Hello everybody, good evening, good night, because it's late and it's past my bedtime. It is recording, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Didn't even think it was recording, I was just talking to myself then. Okay, so we'll just do a quick one because it's quite late. I'm just going to do one tonight and then catch up tomorrow because it's late and it's nearly my bedtime. So tonight I'm going to have this one, which was very kindly donated by the wonderful Joe Lawson, who is here. And this particular one is another brand new distillery that is so brand new it's not even open yet. This is called Raasay While We Wait, and the bottle looks like this, and this is where the distillery is, which is a very small island just off the east coast of Skye. So Skye's a pretty small island, and Raasay is even smaller than that. I think there's only about 200 people that live on the island themselves. I've lost my jigger. Where's my jigger gone? It's over here. Hang on a second, because I need that. Right, let's try again. Yes, so this is a distillery that's not even open yet. Excuse me. It was February just gone. The planning permission was granted, so they are in the process of actually building the distillery on Raasay, and they're going to turn it into it's going to be like a distillery and a visitor centre, and I think they're converting an old Victorian house on site there to either be used as a visitor centre or as a kind of guest house or something. It's a multi-million-pound development. It's launched by a company called R&B Distillers, which was co-founded by two guys, a guy called Bill Dobby, not Bill Oddie, he does birds. Bill Dobby, who was a Scottish entrepreneur who also set up a dating site called Cupid, and another guy called Alistair Day, who has some family ancestry involved in distilling. And R&B Distillers, R&B stands for Raasay and Borders. Raasay is their first distillery. They're also planning to open a distillery in the Borders in Peebles. Now Peebles is here, just the other side of the Scottish border, and they're looking to, that's potentially where they're going to be opening their second distillery. So obviously the distillery is not even built yet. They're looking at 2017 to start distilling, so the first release won't be available until 2020. So how have they got this, I hear you ask? This is actually a single malt, and what they've done is, because again, as we've seen with some other new distilleries, is you need to start making money quite quickly while you still have 3 years to wait until you can release your own malt whisky. What Kingsbarns did was they did their new make. There's been a couple of others where they've done like blended whiskey, like the Lakes, or Annandale had another one as well. What this is this is a single malt, which is from an undisclosed Highland distillery. So it could be anything. My hair's an absolute mess. I've just walked the dog with the hat on because it's absolutely freezing, and it's properly knackered my hair up, even though it's pretty knackered anyway. So this is a single malt from a undisclosed Highland distillery, and this is actually two expressions from this one distillery, where they've used a peated and an unpeated release and blended the two together. So it's not a vatted malt because it's not from, or blended malt because it's not from different distilleries. It's from one distillery, so that still counts as a single malt because it's just from one single malt distillery. But there is some peated and there is some unpeated, and they've been matured in ex-bourbon casks and then finished off in Tuscan red wine casks as well. Tuscan as in the Italian region, rather than the raiders that you find in Star Wars. So I'd be very intrigued to see what this is like, because I do quite like whiskey that is matured in red wine casks. Any that I've come across have been actually really jolly tasty. No age statement on this, so obviously can't tell you how old it is. Probably quite young. It's 46%. It's quite light as well, so I'm willing to bet it is quite young. But it does have. Now this is a clear plastic bottle, and in the glass as well. There is quite a distinct pinky tinge to this. I'm not sure if you're going to pick it up or not, but there is a definite pinky tinge to it, which is probably from the finishing up in the casks. So already it's quite intriguing because it's quite unusual and looking quite different, but quite pale, so I'm going to imagine this is quite young as well. There's a lovely, lovely blend of peatiness, and it's not too dissimilar to the Wolfburn that I had yesterday. It's a soft, sweet peat, but there's more of a sweetness coming through on this as well. And it's almost like a rose petal type feel to it as well. It's very soft and very sweet, but there is this lovely rose fragrance to it, along with this gentle, smoky TCP medicinal. Yeah, there's all sorts going on here. Now you're looking at about 55 quid a bottle for this, and apparently they also have like a founders club where I think it's 500 or 600 quid, but it's for 10 years, and basically over the course of 10 years from the first one that they release, you will get a bottle as well as a miniature, so you don't have to open the bottle itself for the course of 10 years, which is a really good idea. If I had the money, I'd go for it, but I haven't got the money, so I'm not. So I'm liking the nose on this. I really hope that this sticks through on the palate, because this is already starting off very well. That's nice. It does, it continues through from what's on the nose, it continues through on the palate as well. There is a lovely, it's kind of like proper pink Turkish delight, and what's that? There's that sweet that's kind of like rose velvet or something. What am I thinking of? It's gone. I can't think what it is that I'm thinking of, but it's like kind of a Turkish delight, like a very soft, you know, the proper Turkish delight where you get them in a hexagonal box and they're covered in caster sugar. They kind of throw sugary stuff on it and it gets all over your clothes and over your fingers, but it's really soft and really gentle and really fragrant, and it's that sort of proper Turkish delight, along with this quite obvious sweet peaty smokiness. It's not full on, it's not intense, and it actually supports the sweetness really, really nicely. It's an odd combination, and I can imagine it's going to put some people off, but it marries really, really well. They've done a very, very good job here of doing two quite different flavours and combining them together that work really well. I'd be really, really intrigued to know what the unpeated version is like on its own. If they were to do that as well, just a miniature version for me to try, because I think that fragrant Turkish delight sweetness that's there, kind of like the other side of where the peatiness is really good, really, really nice. All that peatiness is doing is just giving you this other dimension to the whiskey. It's very, very interesting. Now, they're releasing this in order to, not necessarily to, like on their website, it's not this is what our whiskey is going to taste like. They've actually said on the website that it is to give you a demonstration of their whiskey making capabilities. Essentially, it's like, look, we've taken this, we've done this to the whiskey, and we've come up with a very, very good one, so you can trust us that we know what we're doing when we actually get around to distillation. So it's obviously nigh impossible to say this is what it is going to taste like when it eventually comes out. We're looking at 2020, so this is a long time before we can even get it out. As I found out yesterday, you can have a brand new 3-year-old whiskey that can be absolutely fantastic, and if they do things like they're doing with this, so I think if they keep those, not keep them, but wherever they got those Tuscan red wine casks from, go and get them and keep them ready and do something with that, because that will give you something quite distinct and quite unusual. But this is a very good start indeed. So this is called While We Wait, because this is basically them saying, look, while you wait for the proper Raasay to turn up, we've got you this. Keep this, buy this, that will keep you going until the full version comes out. So I'm quite looking forward to 2020 now, because that is a good start. That gives me a good indication that they know what they're doing, and it's very, very enjoyable indeed. And it's still going. I can still taste it now. It's a good long finish, and it continued. The peat doesn't dominate, so I can still taste that kind of fragrant rose petal Turkish delight sweetness in there as well. It's excellent. Very, very good stuff. So as it is, they also have a grain whiskey, they've called it, called Borders, while they're in the process of sorting this distillery out in Peebles. Unfortunately, I managed to get some from the Whiskey Lounge, so I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm too tired. I've got other stuff to do. But I think I'll do the Borders tomorrow, along with another relatively new one. and we'll just keep tracking on. So yes, Raasay While We Wait, well worth getting hold of. If you can find it, get it. It's excellent stuff. I shall see you at the next one. Cheers.